Good morning, my dear students. Today, let's start the exercise number 5th C, equivalent fractions. Now, equivalent fractions, this topic we have done last year. So, let's quickly revise what is there in this topic. Write 5 fractions equivalent to each of the following. As you can see, the first question, we have to write 5 fractions equivalent to each of the following. So how to form the equivalent fraction? First, let me take these two examples. Let me teach you how to form equivalent fractions. Equivalent fractions are those fractions which look different, but they are one and the same. If you cancel them, if you see the result, the final result is one and the same. Suppose if I want to form the equivalent fraction, two equivalent fractions from this fraction, I'll take a number of my choice. Do not take 1, because if we are taking 1, the answer will be the same fraction. I'll take the number of my choice. Suppose I do not want to take 1. It's useless to take 1, so I'll take 2. So I'll multiply 2 here in the numerator, and whatever I'm multiplying on the top will be multiplied down also. So 4 2s are 8 and 5 2s are 10. So this is the first equivalent fraction. For second equivalent fraction, I'll again take the fraction and I'll take the number of my choice, any number. After 2, if I want to take 3, so I am free to take 3. Whatever you are multiplying on the top will be multiplied down, and whatever you are multiplying down will be multiplied on the top. So 4 into 3 is what? 12, and 5 into 3 is what? 15. So this is the second equivalent fraction. Now, why they are called equivalent fraction? If you cancel, if you reduce this fraction, you will get same fraction as was the, you will see, you will get the question back. So this is why it is termed as an equivalent fraction. Same way 12 upon 15, if you reduce it into lowest value, then what will be, it goes how many times? Both the numbers goes in 3 tables. This goes 4 times and this goes 5 times. So what's the answer? 4 upon 5, same as the question. So that's why it is called equivalent fraction. And how we are forming equivalent fraction? We take a number of our choice and we keep on multiplying. If they're asking 3 equivalent fraction, then third number I can take 4 or any other number. So if they're asking for 3 equivalent fraction, then the third number I can take 4. If they're asking for 4 equal number, this way I can take the number of my choice. I'll suggest you to take smaller numbers so that the calculation becomes easy, and you can multiply again and again to find the equivalent numbers, equal fractions, as many as they have asked you in the question. Suppose I take one more example. Now the example is 7 upon 9. I have to give 3 equivalent fraction of this fraction. So 7 upon 9, suppose I am multiplying by 2. So whatever I am multiplying on the top will be multiplied down. This is my first equivalent fraction. Then I'll take the same fraction and multiply by 3, because how many I have to give? 3 equivalent fractions I have to give. So first number I have taken 2, 3, and then next number I'll take 4. Instead of burdening myself, I'll take easy numbers. 7 into 2 is 14, and 9 into 2 18. 7 21, and what it will give? 27. Okay, 28 and 36. So these are the 3 equivalent fractions. So this is how we find the equivalent fractions. Okay, now there are 2 ways of finding equivalent fraction. First method is multiplication and the second method is division. Multiplication, as I have already shown you here, what we do, we take numbers of our choice and we multiply the numerator and the denominator with that number in order to take out the equivalent fractions. If suppose I have to take out 4 equivalent fractions, then I can take 5 number, or I can take 6 number. I am also free to take 11, 12, 13, any number of my choice, but we avoid bigger numbers. Why? To make the calculation easy for us. Now for division, if suppose we have to find this equivalent fraction with division method. Okay, so what I'll do, suppose the number is 30 and the second number is 75. Okay, now I have to find the equivalent fractions of this fraction by division method. Okay, now what I'll do, I'll think of such a number which can divide both the numerator and the denominator. I know the first number, if I take, is number 3. If I divide 30 divided by 3 and 75 divided by 3, I can get my first equivalent fraction. I know 30 divided by 3 will be 10 and 75 divided by this 3 will be 25. Okay, this is my first equivalent fraction by division method. For second equivalent fraction, I again look for another number which can divide both these two numbers together, which such a number in which both these numbers are going. So the next second number I can take here is number 5. Okay, so 30 divided by 5 will be what? 6, and 75 divided by this 5 will be what? 1 and 5. Is it clear? Now suppose if I have to find 3 equivalent fractions of this fraction. So first 2 I have already found out. Now for the third one, what I'll do, I'll again look for such a number which can divide these two numbers. Is it clear? So let the next number be 15. Suppose if I read the table, I know 15 table mein 30 also goes and 75 also. 30 goes how many times? 2 times. And 75 goes how many times? 5 times. So this is how we find the equivalent fraction using the division method. We look for such a number, we try to find out such a number which can divide both the numerator and the denominator. Both the numbers should go in that table. Is it clear? If I want to take here, if you tell me, ma'am, why you have not taken 2, why I have not taken 2? Because 2 can divide 30. Yeah, it can easily divide it, but 2 cannot divide 75. We have to look for such a number which can divide both the numerator and the denominator. So this is how we will find the equivalent fractions by division method. Which of the following, question number 2, which of the followings are the pairs of equivalent fraction? Okay, now this is what we have to do. We have to do here cross multiplication. They are asking which one out of these all, which one are the pairs of equivalent fraction. We do what? In order to see whether they are pairs of equivalent fraction, we take any. For example, if I am taking the first part, I'll take the fraction 20 upon 24. Okay, and I'll do what? Cross multiplication. I'll multiply this by this by this, and if I see, and what I'll do, I'll multiply this number by this and this number by this, and I'll see whether the answers are coming same or not. If both the answers are, both on multiplication are giving the same answer, that means they are pairs of equivalent fraction. If the answers are not coming same, that means they are not equivalent fraction. Let's first do it here. 5 into 24 and this 20 into 6. Okay, 5 4s are 20. See, in both the calculation we are getting what? 120 and 120. That means both the numbers are same. Yes, it is a pair of equivalent. It is a pair of equivalent fraction. Understood? What is the method? Do cross multiplication. And see whether answers are same or not. If answers are not same, then they are not equivalent fractions. If they are same, that means they are equivalent fractions. Now let's see a case where it's not a pair of equivalent fraction. Now third part, 4 upon 7 and 16 upon 21. I have to do what? What's the method? Do cross multiplication. This has to be multiplied by this and this has to be multiplied by this. So let's multiply 4 into 21. 4 ones are 4 and 4 twos are 8. And then 16 into 7. Okay, here it is coming 112 and here it is coming 84. These two numbers are not equal, and what is the second step? We have to see whether the answers are same. Answers were same, then it was called what? Yet a pair of equivalent fraction. If answers are not same, then no, it is not a pair of equivalent fraction. Now let's move to question number 3. Find the equivalent fraction of 3 upon 5 having denominator as 30. Now they have given us this fraction and they are telling us what? In that fraction we have to find out, for this fraction we have to find out equivalent fraction, and that equivalent fraction should have the denominator 30. So what's the fraction? Question number 3. The fraction is 3 upon 5. They are saying they want to find such an equivalent fraction whose denominator is 30. Okay, now in the denominator we have written 30. Now we will try to think how is the answer coming to, how we are getting 30. Okay, we know when I'll multiply 5 by 6, we'll get the answer what? 30. And the rule is what? Whatever you are multiplying in the denominator, same has to be multiplied in the numerator also. So 6 into 3 is what? 18. This is how you will find out the equivalent fractions. Now question number 4, if we see, find the equivalent fraction of 5 upon 9 having denominator 54. Now they want an equivalent fraction for 5 upon 9, okay, and they want a denominator of that equivalent fraction to be 54. Okay, they want an equivalent fraction whose denominator should be 54. They are telling us before only. So now we will, yeah, so we'll try to find out how is this number 54 is coming here. We know, okay, let's find out. We know, if you do not know, then divide these two numbers and you'll get which is that number which was multiplied here. I know 6 into 9 will give me what? 54. So whatever number you are multiplying in the denominator, same has to be multiplied in the numerator as well. So 6 5s is what? 30. So this is how you will find out the equivalent fraction when they have already mentioned their choice. Okay, you will find out how these answers are coming in the denominator, how this 30 is coming when 6 is multiplied by 5. This reasoning you can do, I am sure you can do. And here they are asking 54, they want a denominator with 54. So we'll try to find out this empty number by figuring out how 54 is coming from this number. We know 54 कैसे आएगा when you multiply 6 into 9. So same number has to be multiplied on the top also. So 30 will be your answer. Same way you will do question number 5. Now question number, yeah, so we'll try to find out how is this number 54 is coming here. We know, okay, let's find out. We know, if you do not know, then divide these two numbers and you'll get which is that number which was multiplied here. I know 6 into 9 will give me what? 54. So whatever number you are multiplying in the denominator, same has to be multiplied in the numerator as well. So 6 5s is what? 30. So this is how you will find out the equivalent fraction when they have already mentioned their choice. Okay, you will find out how these answers are coming in the denominator, how this 30 is coming when 6 is multiplied by 5. This reasoning you can do, I am sure you can do. And here they are asking 54, they want a denominator with 54. So we'll try to find out this empty number by figuring out how 54 is coming from this number. We know 54 कैसे आएगा when you multiply 6 into 9. So same number has to be multiplied on the top also. So 30 will be your answer. Same way you will do question number 5. Now question number 8, find the equivalent fraction of 56 upon 70 with a numerator this and a denominator 10. Question number 8, if I do the first part, pay attention all of you, 56 upon 70. They want a numerator, they want a numerator 4 here, and they're asking you have to find out the equivalent fraction, and that equivalent fraction they want 4 as the numerator. Okay, so we'll try to find out how is 4 coming here. We'll go in the rough column and we'll divide these two numbers. Okay, so I got to know that this number when divided by 14 will get the answer 4. So same number will be divided here, or we got the answer 4 upon 5. So for second part, if I take 56 upon 70, and now they want an equivalent fraction which should have a denominator 10. So in the denominator I will write 10 in advance. So I'll just try to find out how 70 is becoming 10. Obviously they have divided something. Now what is that number? The number is what here? 7. Okay, we know 7 tens are 17. Okay, so same number will be divided here also. If you know the table of 7, 7 sevens is 49, and then comes what? 7 eights are. So here what will come? 8. Is it clear? So this is your answer for this number part. Question number 9 is what? You have to reduce each of the following fractions into its simplest form. What it is, you just have to reduce, you just have to cancel these fractions. Don't look what is given in your book. I am telling you question number 9 is just reduction. Remember I have told you cancelling, how we cancel the fractions. Okay, it is one and the same thing. For example, if I take the first part 9 upon 15, I have to reduce in the simplest form. I know 9 goes in 3's table and this goes in 5. Now this cannot be further divided, it cannot be further cancelled. So this is the answer in simplest form. If I take this one 50 here and 60 here, okay, I'll again fourth part. Okay, I have to reduce to the lowest or the simplest form. So what I'll do first, I'll try to make my calculation easy by cancelling zeros. 0 1 0 is on the top, 1 0 is at the in the bottom place. So I'll just cancel both of them. Then I'll do what? I'll cancel by 3's table. 3 5s of 3 5s of 15 and 3 2. Now 5 upon 2 is the fraction which cannot be further cancelled. So this is the fraction in the simplest form. So only you have to reduce, and reduce here means what? You have to cancel the fraction by tables. Now for question number 10, what you have to do, you have to look at the explanation here. Okay, if you have to, we have to show question number 10 that all the fractions are in the simplest form or not. To show whether the fractions are in simplest form or not, we'll take out the factors of the numerator and we'll take out the factors of denominator, and we'll see which one are the which numbers are the which factors are common. If 1 is the only common factor, then it is said that it is in the simplest form. If 1 के बाद 7 भी यहाँ common आ रहा होगा, then we will say it is not in the simplest form. अगर सिर्फ 1 ही एक common factor है which is coming in factors of both the numbers, then it will be said that it is in the simplest form. Suppose let's take the example of this number 8 and 11. Okay, now I'll try to find out the factors of both the numbers separately by this method. Okay, I know 2. These are the factors of number 8, and 11 का factor is 11 only. Okay, so I'll do what? 8 के factors के सामने I'll write 2 into 2 into 2 into 1. Yes or no? 1 is also considered a factor. And for 11 I'll write 11 into 1. So you can see there is only one common factor, that is 1. So yes, this number is in simplest form. Is it clear? The common factor should be only 1, that is 1. Okay, it should have only one common factor, and that should be 1 only. Now let's take this one, 25 and 36. All are in simplest form, but we have to show by working. So what I'll do, we have to find out the HCF. As you can see, they have written here by, let's take the HCF of A and B. A and B means that you have to take out the HCF of numerator and denominator. Suppose 25 and 36. 25 का I will separately and 36 का separately I'll take out the HCF. Okay, these are the factors of 36. These are the factors of 25. So in front of 25 I write 5 into 5 into 1. Okay, and in front of 36 I'll write 3 into 3 into 2 into 2 into 1. Okay, 5 is coming here, it's not coming here. 3 is coming here, 3 is not coming here. 2 is coming here, 2 is not coming here. So only 1 is that common factor of both the numerator and the denominator. So yes, it is in the simplest form. So this is how you will show whether the fractions are in simplest form or not. Take out the HCF. Okay, why 1 is considered the HCF? Because every number is a factor of itself. हर नंबर अपने नंबर का फैक्टर होता है. Question number 11. Replace this box. We have to find which number will come here. Okay, now let's see. 2 is becoming 8. How will 2 become 8? When it is multiplied by 4. And the rule is what? Whatever is multiplied on the top will be multiplied down also. So if I take this 2 upon 7, okay, it is coming 8 here, and I have to find this empty place number here. So I know when 4 का multiply यहाँ होता है, the answer becomes 8. And the rule is what? Whatever you are multiplying on the top will be multiplied down also. And 7 4s are, it's what? 28. Okay, same way if I take this fraction, second part, 3 upon 5, answer is coming what? 35. How will 5 become 35? When it is multiplied by 7. So whatever you are multiplying on the below, you will be multiplying it on the top also. So 7 into 3 is what? 21. Okay, fourth part, if you see here, fourth part, 45 upon 60. Now the number here is becoming 9. Smaller number बन जा रहा है. यहाँ सारे bigger numbers थे, तो understood था that they have multiplied. But here the number is becoming smaller. That means they have divided something. So I'll try to find out which is that number. I know 5 9 से क्या होता है 45. So that means they have divided this number by 5, and then the answer was coming 9. The same way I'll divide this number by 5, and what will come here? Is it clear? In case you do not know which number was divided, go in the rough column. If you do not know this number, go in the rough column and divide like this. and you'll get the answer which number was divided. Same way now sixth part, if I see 42 upon 54. Yes, 7 is coming. How 7 is coming? Okay, I do not know. Now I'll tell you how you will do with this division method. Take these two numbers. Okay, I know it goes how many times? 6 times. That means 6 was divided here, and then the answer was coming what? 7. Okay, the same 6 number I'll divide here, and the answer will come what? 9. So this is how you will find out these empty blocks. So I have done how many? 4 parts here. Okay, and you have to do 2 parts. Okay, now do the remaining sums and ask your doubts.